In this lesson, we'll add the mufflers to the bike. So these are going to be these cylinder shapes on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop in a new cylinder. Okay, and I'll just draw this out, give it a little bit of height, and then let's go ahead and just kind of put it into position here. And then we can tweak some of our parameters. So I'll just kind of get the angle kind of blocked in. Okay. And block it into position there, maybe scale it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and change some of the parameters. I think 12 sides is okay. Let's go ahead and take the height segments down to 1. Okay. And then we can, on the cap segments, we can go ahead and leave that at 1. Alright, so now that it's in position, let's go ahead and convert this to an editable poly. I'm going to take these vertices at the end here and just scale those up because it's got a little bit of a taper here. And be aware that this image isn't quite straight across, so you're going to get a little bit of weirdness here. But I'm going to go ahead and just taper that down a little bit, and now we can start to add some of the detail here, and a lot of it's going to exist here on the back side, so we'll go ahead and concentrate on that initially. Okay, so we'll take this big polygon right on the end, and we'll start to do some work on this. So let's go ahead and just do an inset. We turn on edge faces. We'll go ahead and do an inset, and then we'll do another one to kind of right about here. We'll go ahead and apply that. Okay. Let me do that again. So now that gives us that inset. And let's go ahead and now do a bevel. And so the bevel, I'm going to go ahead and take the height down and increase the amount of the outline. So we get something like that. Okay. Now if this is a little bit too, this might be a little bit too small, so I could go ahead and take that loop and just increase that. Okay. Same thing here. Okay. We can now do another inset with kind of a small amount. Okay. And then we can start to extrude that in. Just give it a negative amount. And I'm just adding, so I don't have to go back in and add those edges in here to make give the edges their hardness. I can go ahead and do that while I'm extruding. So I'll just extrude that back in. And same thing here. And you could extend that back in if you wanted to. If you want to do an inset. And then another one. And that leaves you with your polygon right in there. Okay. And you can also take this and collapse it and just collapse that down. And if you want four-sided geometry, you can come in and start to just delete some of these edges here. Okay. And now on some of these, we might need to come in and add a little bit more resolution here to tighten things up if we didn't do that initially. So we'll go ahead and select the ring and do connect. And let me just slide this down a little bit. Kind of right in there. Okay, and if you want to add one up here, you can do that as well. You can always go and check, what that's looking like at that point by smoothing that out. Okay, probably want to add actually one more to this, and we'll slide it up here. Alright, and then maybe one right along here. And slide that out. Now we want to add a little bit of a break right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this ring, do connect, and let's go ahead and slide this up, and let's add a few segments, and let's go ahead and pinch those together. And slide them down. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just pinch those together and slide those down. Okay, and since those are all pinched together, we'll take a little bit more to get that down to the end. Okay, and just pull that down. Okay, and then just get it all the way down to the end. Okay. You can also just slide them one at a time if you wanted to do that. All right. So now we need to make that, create that break there. So I want to take this center edge, and these will be good to hold the thickness or the sharpness of the edge, but we still need the geometry to actually come in. So I'm going to go ahead and chamfer this interior edge and take that amount way down. Okay. And then add one segment. So essentially that gives us these 3 lines here now. And then I'll go ahead and take this center line, it's like the loop, and let's go ahead and just scale that in. Okay? And then let's go ahead and take this outer edge, select the ring, and then we'll just take our pinch off, take that down to 1, take our slide down, and go ahead and modify that. So now when we smooth that, we get a nice little lip there. Okay? Down here, we want to go ahead and modify this, because right now we have a big N-gon right down here. So we'll go ahead and just start to pull this out, and it kind of tapers down to where this exhaust pipe will connect with it. So we can go ahead and just do a bevel on that. And just kind of take that out, and then increase that outline amount. So you get something like that. Okay? And then we can take this edge, select the loop, chamfer that, give it a little bit higher amount there. Okay, and that'll serve to kind of sharpen that edge a little bit. Okay, then we can take this end, and this is where that pipe will go in. So we'll go ahead and just inset this a bit, a smaller amount, and then a bit larger amount. Okay, and then just extrude that in to create the actual hole. Okay, and we can go ahead and delete that. And then we'll go ahead and just add one more edge right along here. Let's go the other way, right along there. Alright, so now when we go ahead and smooth this, and let's go ahead and dial up our smoothness on our subdivision surface. Okay, you get something that looks like that. So as long as yours looks similar to that, that's good. And then we'll go ahead and pull this out into roughly the position that we want here. Okay, and then you can take your curve and modify that curve so that our piece matches up. Okay, so it not only needs to intersect there, come inside there, but it also needs to come in at a good angle. Okay, so just tweak that a little bit. Alright, and you can modify the scale of the end of this if this is a little bit too big, but we'll have some geometry covering over that. You could take that and just take that radius down a bit. Okay, and then go ahead and tweak that so it just matches up. Okay, and then you can use that same muffler over on the other side and mirror that over. So now that we've got our muffler, and so let's go ahead and now add some of the detail to the pipes. Some of these pieces over on the side, and then kind of right in here. I'll just kind of match, copy this over to the other side, and then we'll add some of these details using the existing geometry. So we'll go ahead and do that next.